My name is Dr. Beth Ewaskowitz, and I'm at 1807 Quest Drive. I'm from Erie. And I came over here to talk to you guys today about this. First, I have my doctorate in pharmacology and neuroscience from the University of Colorado Medical School. And so I'm both a scientist and a mom. And what I wanted to be able to talk to you guys about here this evening is that I'm very concerned about the proximity of fracking to our homes and to our schools. I spoke 2 weeks ago at the COGCC meeting about a volatile organic compounds blood test that I had run on my 6-year-old son. Okay, I had this done to establish a baseline level of what is his current exposure, because there is a well that is about 300 feet from his school that Anadarko has expressed intent to refrac. Now, he is at Meadowlark School in Erie, and that is a school that was granted an exemption to be able to be built, knowing it was within that 500-foot perimeter. Okay, so what I wanted to do was establish what's his baseline so that when they start fracking this well, I could then test at future intervals and be able to see, is there any impact that is happening? Can I make a well-informed decision about whether I keep him at this school that we really love based on health? So what I didn't expect, though, was to see the baseline levels come back so high. So he is between the 70th and the 85th percentile for exposure to benzene, ethylbenzene, and xylene. And I don't know what I thought the levels might be, but those weren't the levels I thought it was going to be. Okay. So I was very concerned about that. I reported the levels to the COGCC, and I've been speaking at length with the CDPHE toxicologists. It's nice when we can actually have peer-level conversations about these things to really be able to reconcile what we know about this air monitoring data. And their data says that the VOCs are not that high. That's what they've said to me, although they do acknowledge that really the only safe level of benzene exposure is 0. Okay, but I have data that says it is very high in my son's body. Okay, and how does this happen? You know, as a pharmacologist, I know it's possible that things can accumulate to a higher level in a child's body than it does in what you might expect from an adult's body. So when we're working from adult exposure data tables saying 2 to 3 parts per billion of benzene levels appears to be safe. But what we don't know is if 2 to 3 parts per billion benzene level is safe in a child. It's very possible that their clearance levels are not as robust as adult levels, and given chronic exposure can accumulate to much higher levels than we might have anticipated. And I think that's what we're seeing here. And this is really very concerning. So I've been working with them to be able to reconcile what they're seeing for air exposure data and what I see for blood level data. I said they had reported it as 2 to 3 parts per billion of benzene exposure. They said in order to see this blood level in my child, based on adult tables, they would expect it to need to be 7 parts per billion. Well, it's not that much far off. And when we're looking at the exposure or the elimination process that might be occurring within a child, it is very reasonable to expect that even that lower level is something that is very concerning for a child. So Dr. Wolk, the physician on the COGCC, he himself does acknowledge that more studies need to be done to better understand this process. And this is real. We want to get this right. I know all of you want to be on the correct side of this type of a decision here as well. And what I want to encourage you is to really follow really good scientific methods. And what that means is limit the chance of exposure to these chemicals and these compounds until we really can address what that health impact is, especially in this very small child in an at-risk population. You know, it's what the medical community has always done with clinical studies for new drug trials. When something unexpected shows up that's a health concern, the FDA comes in and halts that study while they investigate what is it that's going on, how do we understand this, and it's only once that has been explained that the study is allowed to proceed and allowed to continue. So what I really want to be able to say is I don't feel it's incumbent on the citizen necessarily to prove that these fracking activities are making us ill, especially my 6-year-old son. I think it's incumbent on our city and our county, our state officials to demonstrate that they're protecting our health. And I think as long as this really does remain an open question, we really need to do just that. We need to be thoughtful in this. We need to really slow down the expansion of this, halt this process, while we really look at what is this impact. And we're working on adult data tables, and that's fine. But we have a 6-year-old child, and my child is not the only one here. And I came to talk to you because I am from Erie, but the Erie air doesn't stop at Lafayette, and it doesn't stop at Louisville, and we're all in this boat together. And I really wanted to be able to share with you the experience I'm going through right now and the work I'm needing to do to address it from the health of my own family. But I wanted to be able to speak with you as well. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Okay.